NoDQ.com.
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 NoDQ.com. NoDQ.com.
NoDQ.com. NoDQ.com.
Oh, fuck! Not another goddamn Zoogz Rift!
Puke-A-Mania! This is Zoogz Rift, the Liquid Moamo. I'm here with Puke-A-Mania, and we're here to talk about a whole new set of things. We all know what happened last time, but this time it's going to be different. This time we're going to talk about modern. We're going to talk about things that are happening today, the now generation. We're going to talk about all kinds of crazy stuff. You know, for one thing, we keep getting a lot of great mail here. I appreciate it. You should keep sending in the mail. Send it to us. Email it to us. To come over and deliver it by hand. I don't care. Send a carrier pigeon, but send us mail. We like to get mail. You can either send it to MySpace or NoDQ or you know, any of those idiots. So here's what you do now. You sit down and listen. Grandma, come up and listen. Grab a chair and come on up, because my wrestling is the healing wrestling. Makes the blind see, the lame walk, and the dumb and the deaf hear and talk. Now let me tell you something. People keep asking me, Zoogz, if you were managing today, not back in the Stone Age, if you were wrestling today, who would you want to manage? That's a good question, because I've got about a half dozen of them that I could see from the wrestling federations that are on television that I think have great potential for greatness, potential for longevity, potential to hurt. I mean to hurt, maim, and cripple their opponents. I mean to a point of where, you know, that they haven't gone far enough yet. They still have to go a little bit further, to a point where the police have to come in and pull them off and hit them with billy clubs and spray them in the face with mace and then take them off to jail like the bad boys. Bad boys, what are they going to do? Okay, so what are they going to do when Puke-A-Mania runs wild on them? Get it? They want to know who would I want to manage if I was going to manage today. Well, I'll tell you, the first guy that comes to my mind is Mark Henry. This guy is massive. He's a brute. He's fearful. And he's fearless. Really, if you were walking down a dark alley, would you want to run into Mark Henry? I don't think so. The problem is he can't get the title. And the reason why is because he hasn't gotten the proper title shots. If I was in there, I would tell McMahon, I would tell the booking committee, I would tell anybody to be willing to listen, you gotta book Mark Henry and give him more title shots, because under the right supervision, under the right training, Mark Henry's a champion. I guarantee it. And let me tell you something. I put my wrestlers through a training school. It's called the School of the Criminally Insane. And I teach my wrestlers how to be more psychoaquatic, so that they flow as water and think as water and breathe as water. I teach them to be violent. To one course in the study course, it's chapter 7, is don't walk away from the ring without having crippled your opponent. If your opponent is still walking at the end of the match, then you're doing something wrong. And I teach them, you got to go in, you got to just strangle the guy, and most importantly, because it puts money in my pocket, get that 3 count for the pin. Let's talk about Kurt Angle. If I was managing today, I would get on the phone and I would call Kurt Angle and I would say, look, you know what I did for the Warlord? You know what I did for Dr. Death Steve Williams? I could do it for you. All you got to do is A, grow your stupid hair back because you look like a freak, and get in the ring, stop being a coward, stop worrying about injuries. Don't worry about injuries. Worry about the injuries to your opponent. Never mind the injuries that are happening to you. What are you, stupid? You're a professional wrestler. Go in there, maim, break his bones, kill him. Kill him. That's when you know you got something. And Angle has got the pizzazz to do it. He's losing a little bit of his drive. It's okay, I can understand it. If I had to work for McMahon, I'd be losing my drive too. So he's got to just ignore that. He's got to ignore all the politics. He's got to get in there. Now another one, of course, would have to be Kane. Kane is nuts. He's nuts in real life. He's nuts on stage. He's nuts in the ring. And this guy is a really dangerous person. I could tell. I tell just from looking at his eye that he is a potentially dangerous. He is a psychotic imbecile. That's what we call it. That's the technical term. He is a psychotic imbecile. And he gets in the ring, and he doesn't know what he's doing. They just turn him loose. He goes in there, but he doesn't have the title. Look at that idiot Big Show. Still kept the title, even though Kane had him beat. If Kane was a real champion at that time, he would have won that match anyway. Paul Heyman or no Paul Heyman, he would have won that match if he was a real champion. But he's close, but he's not the champion that he was 7 or 8 years ago. Let's face it. So we got to bring him back in. We got to teach him psychoacquatics. We got to teach him to basically just destroy his opponents using the theories of the golden crab, right? That's my secret weapon, the secret mystery of the golden crab. We have to teach him how to manipulate that to his advantage. Now, even though I referred to Big Show a moment ago as an idiot, he's not an idiot. Big Show is a very, 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 very intelligent man. You can tell when Big Show gets in the ring that you are looking at supreme intelligence. This man has a plan. He's got a plan. He goes in there with a plan, a battle plan, and every move he makes is deliberate, it's intentional, it's planned out, it's sublime. It brings tears to my eyes watching Big Show. But ECW? That's the title? You're kidding me, right? You get me behind the Big Show, and he'll have the WWE title back in his hands in no time. And that's another guarantee from Zoogz Rift, the Liquid Muamo. Now, I'll tell you, there are a few other guys, once again, who I would say are pretty good. One is the Worm guy, the Boogeyman. This guy should spend less time eating worms, more time eating pasta. If he did this, he'd gain a little bit of weight around because he's a little too thin. You know, he's muscular, but needs to put on just a few more pounds in the right places. But I'm telling you, the Boogeyman could defeat anyone in any of the federations, and that includes the high and mighty TWA or TNA or NBC or whatever it is. Boogeyman, Zoogz Rift, gotcha. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may think that you possess the world and all of its gold, but money and happiness won't help when you're growing old. The world will be the same. You'll never change it. As long as the stars are above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. That's it for this week. See you next week. We got more things planned, bigger things planned. We're going to be starting to show some old clips of the UWF clips. I got a lot of tape. I got a lot of matches. We got Jimmy Snuka versus the Cactus Jack in the handicap match. We got Dr. Death versus Sid Vicious. We got all kinds of stuff. We're going to have it for you little by little starting next week. Also, coming up in about a month for our special annual Halloween show, we're going to have the proper way to carve a pumpkin. Well, I don't want to see you kids out there get hurt. You know, it's one thing for us to talk about wrestling, but you kids know you shouldn't be trying that at home. We want to make sure the kids are safe, so we're going to have how to properly carve a pumpkin. So anyway, look forward to these things. These are going to be great. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. All of you hate my guts. I got the mailbag here before we real quick. I got this here. Here, this guy, Raven 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 says, "I'm sorry, but I just cannot take this show seriously at all." But we're supposed to take you seriously with a moniker like that? You fucking... I just can't see the good in it. It's the worst internet show that's been posted here on NODQ in my book. You compare me to the Mike Nagel show and you say this is the worst show that's ever been on the internet? You imbecile. Now here's the other guy. Here's the other guy. J. Whitty N. He says, I don't get the point of this show at all. It's annoying. Well, you got it, Jack, but nowhere near as annoying as you are. I'm sick of all of you urinal lickers out there criticizing, complaining, mocking, degrading, evaporating, dehydrating. You're not even smart enough to answer the phone when it rings. That's it. I gotta go. Zoogz Rift. Goodbye. See you next week.